Google suspends over 1 million Google Merchant Center accounts every single month. Many of these accounts are owned by real store owners with real products. They're not trying to scam or deceive. They're honest people just trying to make a living with Google shopping campaigns. Their big mistake? Not following Google's strict policies and then getting a big suspension. Now, my team and I, we have a service where we actually go in and fix your suspension for you. We do this for dozens and dozens of e-commerce stores. In this video, I'm going to show you what to do to avoid getting your Google Merchant Center account suspended by making your website compliant. First, we'll cover Google's risk meter. Then, the things you need for your policy pages, your product pages, and your website footer. Now, I've also included a full checklist on making your website compliant. I'll leave a link down below. Go and check that out. Now, getting your Merchant Center account suspended is the worst. Okay, so why does Google suspend accounts? Well, first, in 2011, they were fined $500 million for letting shady advertisers use Google Ads to sell their scams. This was a wake-up call for Google that they needed to find these fraudsters and stop them before they got any more fines. But most importantly to Google, they needed to protect their reputation as the best search engine on the planet. So, to borrow a term used by its own policy specialists, Google created what's called the risk meter. Each advertiser gets a risk meter. This tells Google the risk that you pose to Google as a potential fraudulent seller. Google evaluates the risk of your business based on how it perceives your transparency to Google and to the public. In the rest of this video, I'm going to show you what to do on your website to reduce your risk meter. This will help you avoid getting suspended and all the pain that comes with that. First, let's go through your refunds and returns page. This is one of the most important parts of your website for reducing your risk meter. This is the part of your website that tells people what to do if they want to get a return. This is the page that stipulates what happens when someone wants to return a product or get a refund. Now, I recommend using our refunds and returns policy template. I'll leave a link to that down below this video. Here are 5 things that you must have on your returns policy page. 1. What is the policy for returns? 2. How is someone eligible for a return or a refund? 3. How do they initiate a return? 4. What's the timeline for a return or getting a refund? And 5. How will the refund be given? 1. What is your policy for returns? Meaning, do you accept returns or not? A lot of people don't know this, but you don't have to accept returns. That is a returns policy, but you do have to state that here. Your policy must be applied across your entire catalog, with one exception being special clearance sales, but this must be clearly stated in the promotion. You should also include if shipping costs are refunded to and if you charge a restocking fee. Second, how is someone eligible for a return or a refund? In what situations do you accept returns? You can say that you only accept returns under special circumstances, such as if a mistake was made on your end, if the product is defective, if they initiate a return within a limited time. Make it clear so your customers know if they're eligible or if they're not. Third, how do they initiate a return? Make it clear how someone will contact you to initiate a return and give them 2 forms of contact to do that. An example would be an email and a phone number. For example, please contact us at email or call us at phone number, and please include your order number and your reason for return. Fourth, the timeline for a return or for getting a refund. How long does it take for the customer to receive an exchanged item or to get their refund? Some examples that you could have here are when they contact you to first initiate the return, when they send you the tracking number of the return shipment, when the product is received by you and inspected. And fifth, how the refund will be given. How does the customer receive the refund money back? You might send it back to their credit card, PayPal, or a store credit. With all these policies, it's really up to you. Just make it clear. Your contact page is just as important for reducing your risk meter and avoiding suspensions. Google looks at it simply. Legitimate businesses are easy to contact. In this section, you're going to learn the 6 things you need on your contact page to show Google that you're a legitimate business that's easy to contact. Now, I've created a full template for your Contact Us page. I'll leave a link to that down below. First, your business name. Google wants to know what's the business entity behind your website. If they don't know this, they're less likely to trust you. For example, if your business name is XYZ LLC, then that's what you need to have on your Contact Us page. You can also put your doing business as name on your contact page if you have a legally registered trademark for that name. Now, use the same name across all your Google accounts so Google doesn't see any discrepancy between your business names. Next, add your business address. This must be the physical location from which you operate your business. Some people try to use a PO box or a rented mailbox. Since you can't work out of a mailbox, Google sees this as an instant red flag. If Google ever suspects that you don't have a legitimate business location, they're going to flag you and likely suspend you right away. Next, add your business phone number. This is the phone number where customers can call in and be serviced. What's critical here is that when people call up, they feel they're actually reaching whoever's owning the actual website. This means they hear the business name when they call and they can leave a voicemail if no one answers. Just like with your business name and address, use the same phone number across all your Google accounts. Having these 3 things on your Contact Us page ensures that you meet the minimum threshold for Google Ads and Google Merchant Center. Next, we have 3 things that you should add to your page to go further to avoid a suspension. 1 is your business email. Your business support email should use a legitimate domain, your own domain, and not use a Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, or any other provider. Next, add your hours of operation. This is where you let customers and Google know when you're able to answer phone calls and respond to emails. Something simple such as, we operate between the hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, EST. Lastly, we have our contact expectations. Clearly state what will happen and what they should expect if they leave a message or send an email. Will you reply within 1 business day? That's fine, just be upfront and let them know. If you prefer to receive phone calls during business hours, but then emails after business hours, let them know. Okay, that's it for our Contact Us page. Like I said, we have a full template for your Contact Us page. I'll leave a link to that down below. Next, let's look at our shipping policy page. Your shipping policy is a page that outlines how you're going to ship your products to your customers. There are 3 critical elements to your shipping policy page. 1, delivery zones. 2, shipping costs. 3, shipping timing. I've created a full template that you can use for your shipping policy page. It has everything you need and you can just put in your information. I'll leave a link to that template down below. First, delivery zones. Your delivery zones are simple. Where do you and where don't you ship to? This can be entire countries or broken down to states and provinces. Next, we have shipping costs. This is simply how much it costs the customer for shipping. Make sure your shipping costs are crystal clear for your customers. Make sure that you add any customs duties or taxes that the customer may pay if they ship across borders. Lastly, we have shipping timing. This is simply how long it takes to ship the products to your customers. You should include the handling time, the transit time, and the cutoff time. The handling time is the number of days it takes to process an order before it ships. The transit time is the amount of time the product will be while it's in transit before arriving to the customer. The cutoff time is defined as the time of day when the order must place their order to start the clock on the transit time. That's our shipping policy page. Let's move into our privacy policy page. Okay, our privacy policy. This tells customers that you will handle their information with care. For this page, you can generally use a template. We've created one for your policy page. I'll leave a link to that down below. In summary, Google cares about these 7 factors on your privacy policy page. What information is collected from your customers, why that information is collected, who that information is shared with, how the information is kept secure and for how long, which methods you use to collect it, how people opt out or delete the information kept about them. Does this all adhere to the country of sale? That's it for the privacy policy page. Let's move on to the next page. Terms and conditions page. Now, while we also have a template for your terms and conditions page, you need to go through it and make sure it applies to your store. I'll leave a link to our template down below. Go and check it out. Use it for your own store. It's going to save you a lot of time. Here's what Google cares about on this page. Defining the acceptance of the agreement. Limitation of liability or disclaimers. Intellectual property rights. Termination. Notification of changes. Contact information. Now let's jump into our product page. Our product page is where we're going to be sending our Google Shopping traffic. It's crucial that we make these product pages absolutely compliant to avoid getting a nasty suspension. Your product page receives extra scrutiny because Google wants transparency on the product itself. We've developed a 10-point checklist that covers the mandatory things you need on your product page to ensure compliance. Now I'm going to talk about it in this video, but I'm going to put the checklist down below. I know I've got a lot of checklists in this video, but it's going to be really, really helpful to make sure your website is compliant. First, we have the title. This needs to be highly relevant to the product. Don't include any promotional text in the title such as free shipping or buy it today. Don't include any emojis or any other random characters to draw attention. Next, we have the description. While it is hard for Google to really understand the complexities of your description, they do understand when it's too short. So make sure you describe your product as thoroughly as you can. Then we look at the image. The image can't be of poor resolution or quality. It must be at least 250 by 250 pixels in size. It shouldn't have a file size larger than 16 megabytes. It shouldn't include overlaid text. And ideally, it only shows the product with a white background. Okay, let's now look at price. Price must be clearly shown and match exactly what's in your product feed. Any mismatch can lead to an immediate disapproval for this product. Then we have our sale price. If you have a sale going on, then make sure that matches what's going on in your product feed. Also, if there's a date that the sale ends, make sure that it's clearly stated. Then we have our availability. This means whether your product is in stock or out of stock. Make sure this is clear. Next, methods of payment. Somewhere on your product page, you need to outline the ways that it can be purchased, like what credit cards you accept or other payment methods. Placing that information in the footer is fine as long as it's placed somewhere. And then an obvious one, an add to cart button. Simply put, there must be a way for the shopper to start their purchase from the product page. Next, we have important links. Make sure on the page there are links to your returns and refunds page, contact us page, shipping policy page, privacy policy, and terms and conditions. We'll cover the footer in the next section. This is usually where we'll add all these links. I also like to add a tab to the product description with links to the shipping policy and the returns and refunds policy. Lastly, we have any pertinent information. This is anything else about the product that could be considered necessary to know. This includes information such as the shipping weight, if you charge by weight for your shipping. If your product is not available for express shipping, even though other products are. If customization options add on to the handling time. If the product has any legal warnings. And if there are any disclaimers required for any product-related claims you've made, such as durability or function. There's our 10-point checklist for ensuring compliance on your product pages. Lastly, we have our footer. Let's get into it. We want to use our footer to the max in terms of compliance. Perfect footer includes links to your About Us, Contact Us, Returns and Refunds Policy, Privacy Policy, Terms and Conditions, Shipping Policy. It also includes your methods of accepted payment and your business name and address. And there we have it. That's how we ensure compliance for our e-commerce store to avoid getting a Google Merchant Center suspension. I've included a lot of templates here. I'll leave a link to all of them down below this video. Now, this video here is actually part of our free Google Shopping course. It shows you everything you need to set up, optimize, and scale your Google Shopping campaigns to over 100K per month. It's completely free. It's on our website, and I'll leave a link to it down below. Also, if you've got a Google Merchant Center suspension and you need help getting it fixed, in many cases, we can actually fix it for you with a guarantee. I'll leave a link to our website down below. Get in touch with us there, and we'll be able to talk with you about how we can fix your suspension and get your shopping campaigns running again. Also, if you need help scaling your shopping campaigns and you're already doing 20K per month or more in sales and you want to go to 7 figures and beyond, get in touch with my team and I. We use Google Ads, Facebook ads, and conversion rate optimization to scale dozens of e-commerce stores every single month. We can do it for you. Book a time with us. Let's chat. We'll talk through how we'll do it for your store. I'll leave a link to our calendar down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Make sure to click here for the next video in the free course, and I'll see you there.